The Age of Religious Wars, The Revolt of the Netherlands, Part 1. In the mid-16th century, the people of the Low Countries had a style of life all their own, distinctively different from both the Spanish and the French. Theirs was a business society of towns and merchants, with the highest per capita wealth in Europe. The Netherlands were particular and cosmopolitan. Their country was divided into 17 autonomous provinces, of which the most important were Flanders and Holland. Most of the people of the northern provinces spoke Dutch, while the southern provinces spoke Flemish. Antwerp was the biggest city in the Low Countries and the chief financial and distribution center for Western Europe. Antwerp and the other Netherlands towns were also leading industrial centers, and sailors from Zeeland and Holland dominated the lucrative North Sea herring fishery. The hereditary ruler of the Low Countries was the Duke of Burgundy. From 1506 to 1556, Charles V held this title. The Netherlanders had little to complain about during his administration, in that he allowed them much leeway as far as local customs and privileges, and for the most part they had been able to manage their own affairs. Plus, they saw Charles V as a fellow Netherlander, in that he spoke their languages and was born in their land. Charles V was simply happy with the amount of money that poured in from the region, which helped him finance his constant wars. Netherlanders were receptive to new religious opinions, as their attitude was very tolerant. When Philip II inherited the dukedom of Burgundy from his father in 1556, he regarded the Low Countries as vital to his Spanish Empire and looked to rule it more directly. He personally disliked the place, spoke no Dutch, and had no trusted native advisors. When he tried to rule it more directly, he encountered massive resistance. Where they saw his father as one of their own, Philip II was a meddlesome outsider. Still, the most explosive issue proved to be religion. By the 1550s, Calvinism was spreading from France to the Low Countries. When Philip found that the Inquisition could not stop this spread, he reorganized the Netherlands Church in 1561, nominating 18 new bishops to replace 4. Philip's Spanish absolute rule had a traumatic effect upon the Netherlands, eventually leading to a revolt. The revolt against Spain was initiated by the nobility. 3 of the biggest nobles, William the Prince of Orange and the Counts of Egmont and of Horn, tried repeatedly to persuade Philip to alter his policy. When they failed, a group of lesser nobility petitioned the king in 1566 to abolish the Inquisition in the Netherlands and to stop persecuting the Protestants. Quote, "Why be afraid of these beggars?" asked one of Philip's advisors while they petitioned. Quote, "Long live the beggars," thus became the rebel cry. Calvinist preachers sprang up everywhere in the Netherlands and whipped their excited congregations into a rage, not only against the bishops, but against everything Catholic. In the summer of 1566, hundreds of Catholic cathedrals were ravaged by iconoclasts. This Calvinist fury stunned Philip II and led to brutal reprisals. Philip sent his hatchet man, the Duke of Alba, nicknamed the Iron Duke, in 1567 with 10,000 of the best Spanish troops and came close to crushing all Netherlands' resistance to Spanish rule. Alba instantly erected a tribunal, the Council of Troubles, which soon became known to its victims as Blood Council, to try all persons who had been engaged in supposed heresy. Alba executed Egmont and Horn and tortured and killed several thousand Calvinists. He canceled all self-government and levied impossibly high taxes. Only a small band of exiles under the leadership of the Prince of Orange maintained opposition to Philip. From 1567 on, the Spanish maintained a formidable standing army in the Netherlands. Alba's new taxes by no means paid for an army of this size, so Philip had to supply most of the funding from Spain. Still, many of the soldiers went unpaid. Here was the fatal flaw in Philip's military system. Between 1572 and 1607, units within the Netherlands army staged over 45 separate mutinies. These mutinies repeatedly paralyzed Philip's battle plans and gave the rebels more resolve. These rebels, however, lacked cohesion at first. They were not trying to mold a new Netherlands nation-state. Each of the 17 provinces wanted to preserve its cherished autonomy. Still, the one thing they could agree on was their distaste for Philip II. From 1567 to 1584, the rebel chief was William of Orange, a man with very similar traits to Henry of Navarre. Nicknamed William the Silent because of his skill at masking his intentions, Prince William was actually an outgoing man of the people. He was a mediocre military general at best and was a religious opportunist who changed from Lutheran to Catholic to Calvinist as the situation warranted. Still, he was a natural leader. Almost single-handedly, he strove to harmonize religious, sectional, and class differences and weave the Netherlands into a nation. But it did not culminate in the achievement of his dream, a unified Netherlands nation-state. Instead, during the 1570s and 1580s, the 17 provinces split into two sections, the rebel North versus the Spanish South. Religion proved to be the great divider.